girl, welcome back to the Her Best Self podcast. I want to talk to you about something today that might ruffle some feathers, but I love you too much to allow you to stay stuck in the messy middle of eating disorder recovery. See, you're waiting around, and that waiting, sis, well, it's keeping you here. So today we're talking about the one quality that separates women who find lasting freedom from those who stay stuck in the cycle for years. So buckle up, here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you. Because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in the destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it. So you can start living your best life as your best self. Today, we're talking about speed. Not the speed of recovery itself, not the speed of a timeline, okay? I often will share to my ladies, and if you're new around here, I talk about my recovery spirit animal being the turtle, where in my own recovery, it took me consistency over time, little by little, to get through to the other side. So I'm not talking about speed of recovery itself in today's show. But I am talking about the speed of decision making and bounce back. Okay, so hear me out. If you are tired of being in the same place this year as you were last year, you could have a speed of decision making and or bounce back situation happening. Okay, and if you don't want next year to look like this year with the constant food noise in your mind and all that chatter, it's only going to get louder, right? Then this episode can help you. And I hope today that it does. Because in my work with women, I see two distinct types of women. One, the waiters. Okay, she is waiting until she feels ready. She's waiting for motivation, waiting for the invitation, waiting for the perfect plan. She is waiting until she's sure she will not mess it up. And she sits in indecision for weeks, months, and even years. And if you're a waiter, cool. I love you. There were moments of my journey that I was a waiter. And that's okay. But the second type of woman are the women that come into my inbox and become clients of mine. Because they're the deciders. She is learning to act fast, even in the face of fear. And when I say fast, I don't mean like the speed of we are recovering quickly, okay? It's more so of she's willing to mess it up. When I say mess it up, I mean recovering messy, because she knows trying to be perfect got her here in the first place. And so she's making recovery decisions that are pro-choices quickly. And even when she might not make the decision that is going to set her best future self up in a positive direction, she is bouncing back from setbacks with speed. And I want you to think about this and guess which one finds lasting freedom. The decider, not the waiter. Every single time. Every single time. Let me be crystal clear though about what I'm not saying today. I'm not talking about rushing through recovery, okay? Recovery is a process. I recovered like the turtle, as I mentioned. It was slow, it was steady, one day at a time. The turtle wins the race, and that is totally beautiful. I'm not saying that you should speed your way through healing. In fact, I believe with my frameworks and the coaching that I've done with women and the years that I've done it, there is a purposeful way to navigate you through this, okay? Your nervous system needs time. So I'm not talking about that. Your body needs time. Your heart needs time. You need to embrace that this is going to take time. The speed I'm talking about is completely different. I'm talking about two specific types of speed. One, decision-making speed. So when a recovery choice presents itself, how quickly do you decide? Do you spend 3 days debating whether to eat the thing? Or do you decide in the moment from your healed self, from your best self, from your future self? Okay, so the power of decision-making, the speed of that, and 2, the speed of the bounce back. When you have a bad day, because you're going to, you 100% will, how quickly do you get back on track? Do you spiral for weeks? Do you relapse? Or do you reset at the next opportunity? And these 2 things, friend, are going to require that you, A, get really real in awareness of what it is that you actually want in terms of your future self. But also, it doesn't allow you to sit with an excuse anymore or with denial or any of that, because these 2 speeds determine everything. Is the decision that I'm making propelling me, pushing me forward in the direction that I want to be or not? And indecision is a decision, okay? Whether you like it or not, it is a decision. And 2 is how quickly I bounce back, setting me up for success or failure. Because I remember being so depressed and mad at myself for not taking the opportunity to do the thing when I knew what to do and I simply didn't do it. Sitting in that pity party, I say it to my clients all the time. You can sit in the room for 20 minutes, but we're not building the house around it. Okay? I want you to feel the feels, and then I want you to realize that feelings aren't facts, and it's time to bounce back. What power do I have now? The past is the past, but what power do I have at my next meal, at my next opportunity, at that next invitation? Here's what I've learned with working with women across hundreds of people. The woman who acts imperfectly versus the woman who waits for the perfect moment, there's no comparison. Why? Because waiting is a decision. You're deciding to stay where you are. You're deciding, maybe subconsciously, but neither here nor there. You are choosing that maybe tomorrow you will commit to yourself. Maybe tomorrow you will feel more ready. Maybe tomorrow you will be more motivated. Maybe tomorrow you will be more sure. But I challenge you, if this is an issue or a concern in your life, isn't today the day to be sure? Do you want to spend one more day with this mental illness or this disease or this struggle, the food noise? I do not care. When you can be sure of that choice, you can be real with yourself and you can just call it what it is. I am choosing to stay where I am because this is more safe than to putting one step forward. But I know because of the woman you are, that isn't really you. But what I wanted to highlight today and give you that cis love energy is that waiting is a decision. It is a choice. Your eating disorder is counting on that decision. It is banking on you waiting. And she knows that the longer that you sit in indecision, the louder that she gets to have influence and speak. The voice inside gets stronger in the pause and weaker in the action. I see this literally with women who will come to consults with me. We'll have a wonderful conversation. And she's kind of, coming to the table with, I want to work with you. How do I work with you? Let's make it happen. Then she, towards the end of the conversation, says she needs to go meet with her husband. And there is nothing wrong. I think you should bring your spouse into the conversation. If your husband is the person who, you need to share the finances with, I need to do that with my husband. So I totally understand that. But let's call it what it is. When you have time to sit and think and noodle and talk to husband and talk to sister and talk to friend and talk, what happens? The eating disorder voice gets stronger in the pause. It gets stronger in the indecision. Oh, I don't really know if you need this. Then the excuses start. I don't really know. I think you can do this by yourself. I think you can do. And you know what, sis? I am all for it. I am all for it. But guess what happens when you take action? There is a fire that gets lit underneath of you. Women who have recovered, that are determined to, they do not sit in indecision mode, in procrastination mode. in deciding when they're just like, so one of the biggest qualities that I wanted to highlight for today's show was that your decision-making speed matters. When you're standing in front of the fridge debating whether to eat, spending 20 minutes negotiating with the voice inside your head, what do you think is going to happen the longer you marinate with that voice? You get tired, you get run down. The women who I'm seeing truly make change. They're deciding from their future self in minutes, actually probably in seconds. What would the recovered version of me have right now? Boom. I am no longer asking permission. I am deciding. The action is taken, even when the fear is there, because they're not afraid to mess it up, because they know that messy action beats perfection every single time. Messy action beats perfect inaction every single time. And they understand this because you cannot think your way into being free from this. I hope you hear that if you hear nothing else. You have to act your way into freedom. Every moment that you spend negotiating, every moment, every breath, every span of energy that you have, every breath, every second that you are spending in indecision is a second too long because your eating disorder gets to argue its case. Fast decisions shut down the negotiation process. So the second speed that changes everything, in addition to your decision making, is your bounce back speed. How quickly you can bounce back from setbacks. Because listen, you are going to have bad days. You might have bad weeks, bad months. You are going to have moments where you restrict your food, where you listen to the voice in your mind, where you know what you should be doing, but you're just simply not there, where you fall into old patterns. The question isn't if you will. The question is, how quickly will you recover and bounce back from these moments? There are ladies that I've seen that have one bad day, and that turns into a bad week, a bad month. She's not capable of this. This isn't for her. She'll always be this way. She uses the setback as evidence that she's failing, that she is bad, that what she's doing isn't working, and that she should simply give up. But my clients, they have one bad meal and they reset at the next one. They have one setback and they use that as information. They use that as opportunity, not identity. And this doesn't mean, again, that you have to be perfect. It just means that you don't allow one moment to define your entire journey in this. Because she is more terrified of being in the same place next year than she is of having one imperfect day or week or month. And do you know what this woman is actually afraid of? Not messing up recovery, not even gaining weight or losing control. I know, it's mind-blowing. For me, I was terrified of staying exactly where I was. So if you're like me and you're this woman, you're lying in bed at night and you're thinking, what if I'm having the same internal battle a year from now? What if that next vacation, I'm still thinking these thoughts? What if that noise in my head gets even louder? Is that possible? What if I waste another year of my life trapped in the cycle? That terror, friend, motivates speed. You see, you would rather make an imperfect decision than a slow, perfect one. And that's the difference, because you are bouncing back quickly from a setback and you're not spiraling slowly into a relapse. Now, I'm not saying that there's not room for people who are questioning decisions, okay? But it's in the action where you find yourself, where you find that freedom, because the eating disorder hates action. And when you can do that one foot in front of the other, momentum creates freedom. I recovered like the turtle, slow and steady. But within that slow recovery, I moved with lightning speed on decisions. When I was standing in the peanut butter aisle, terrified to buy the peanut butter, you guys know that story. I shared it on a recent episode. I didn't spend 3 weeks debating it. I decided the recovered version of me, the next time I come into the store, is going to buy the peanut butter. Boom, let's go. Bring it. When I had days where that voice was so loud and I couldn't resist but listen to it, I didn't use it as evidence that I was failing. I would reset the next morning. This is fast bounce back. It's like, okay, yesterday sucked, but the speed wasn't in the overall timeline. The speed was in the moment-to-moment choices, and that is what I'm trying to express today on the show. And that kind of speed, sis, that willingness to act fast, even when scared, that commitment to bouncing back quickly, that is what saved my life, in addition to God and my mom. So how do you develop this type of speed? I want you to set 30-second rules for recovery decisions. What would she do? My best self, what would she do? And decide immediately. And I want you to remember that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. So there's no failing. You're just doing. Practice saying this out loud. The recovered version of me would blank. And go do it. Now, if you're trying to get a little bit more of that bounce back power and that bounce back speed, I want you to develop a reset ritual on your bad days, on your down days. Remember, I'm allowed to have bad moments, and that doesn't erase my progress. So I am going to sit in that moment. I'm going to process the moment. I'm going to try to figure out what I'm controlling or feeling out of control around. And I'm going to remember that this is part of the process, but this is not who I am. This is not my identity. And then I can say to myself, tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to get back on track at the very next opportunity. The goal, sis, isn't to never fall down. It isn't to never mess up. The goal is to create momentum, to get up faster every single time. I want you to imagine something with me. It's exactly 1 year from today. You're sitting in the exact same place you're sitting right now, and nothing has changed. The food noise is still there. It's probably louder. The internal battles are still happening. You're restricting even more than you ever have been, and you're still waiting to feel ready. You're still sitting in indecision. You're still taking weeks to bounce back from setbacks, and you still have not worked with someone that can help support your journey forward. How does that feel? If that image terrifies you more than the idea of making fast, imperfect decisions, congratulations. You're ready to develop speed. Here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to practice decision speed. The next time you're faced with a recovery choice, decide. Ask yourself, ask your future self, make the choice and take the action. And when you have a bad moment, because you will, reset immediately. Give yourself 20 minutes to pout. I don't even care. But don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until next week. Reset. Reset at the next meal, the next snack, the next opportunity. And if you're tired of waiting around and expecting different results, and if you're ready to develop the speed that creates what I'm seeing with my clients, I want you to go to herbestself.co and apply for one-on-one coaching with me. Because here's what I know. The woman who acts fast, even though not perfectly, will be free a year from now, or could be free a year from now. The woman who waits for perfection will still be waiting. Sis, you don't need more time. You don't need more readiness. You need more speed in your bounce back and in your decision making. The question is, are you going to use it? Until next time, keep moving fast towards your freedom in all the right ways. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.